Well, hello and welcome to the bedroom of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers for October 15th, the day of the world stage. That's right. Near the top of the page is a visual representation of the day of the world stage. We have us an image of what looks to be a pie with a really janky crust placed upon a foot kind of severed at mid-calf, I'd say. You probably can't see the janky crust, but just trust me, it's there. It looks like the top walls of a castle, I'd say. At any event, hey, what the visual representational image is doesn't necessarily matter. Not altogether all too important. We might see some connotations in the reading somewhere. Who's to say? Oftentimes we don't. But in any event, not altogether important, like I said. What is important is it's October 15th and it's someone's birthday today. And so I just want to wish you a happy birthday. That's right. Happy birthday. But if this video finds you late, I don't know, days, weeks, maybe even months, I hope you had a happy birthday if that's the case. That's right, I hope you had a happy birthday. But for everyone else joining us randomly, or more ideally to celebrate the October 15th birthday, well, I just want to say hello, welcome, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Now, before we dive in with the birthday redirect, let's roll some dice. This is the DykASSt A Birthday broadcast. We need to live up to the namesake, but we do it, more importantly, for synchronicity's sake. That's right. We rolled us a 6 and a 4 for a 10. That's right. Now, what is synchronicity? Some of you might be wondering. Well, it's just you getting out in the world and let the universe show you it's with you on your path. And you do that by looking for your agreed upon numbers. Now, you don't necessarily need to use the numbers I give you, just the intentions there. But it's probably ideal you take your own set of dice. Ascribe directional values to number sets so you know which direction you're going in. And then you roll dice to figure out your time to see how long to go in those directions. And then when you get to those places that the universe has deemed that you, I don't know if that's the right word, but has dictated that you get to, well, you take yourself a moment to compose and you look for your signs. That's right. Maybe your numbers, your 6 and your 4 for a 10. But it doesn't necessarily have to be your numbers either. It can be things that seem out of place, out of the ordinary. They just strike you as your sign. Got to go on instinct here a little bit. But it could be something as obvious as the number 10 bus rolling up. Oh, I know you don't ride the bus very often, more than likely, but hey, get on there. Maybe you got perfect change in your pocket to do as much. But if you don't, maybe you're relegated to get off the bus. Hey, that could be the universe giving you a sign too. You never know. Don't get dissuaded though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe as the bus leaves, you use that as your sign to go, that's the direction I need to go in. I need to follow these numbers and chase them down. So roll your dice again. Find out how long to go in that direction. You know, after you reach your 10-minute mark, who's to say, maybe you find yourself in front of a building with a 46 in the address. And what does it happen to be? Well, maybe it's a pie shop and they got janky crusts. You know what I'm saying? They look like the top walls of a castle. Who's to say? I mean, very unlikely that happens to be the circumstance, but you never know. The universe might line things up for you just like that. It might take on a theme, or maybe you just start seeing janky looking pies drawn on things or on images and stuff. I mean, it's just things like that. And the universe showing you that it's with you on your path. But in any event, that's just a real quick, fast, down and dirty means of me doing an improvisational relation of as much. But let's dive in with the birthday read, all right? Your month is October, your day the 15th, and your sign is 21 to 23 degrees Libra of the Libra III period specifically, and your quality and element is Cardinal air. All right, October 15th, the day of the world stage. October 15th, people lay claim to their sovereignty in whatever sphere they inhabit, be it within a family, social circle, or organization. They can be dominant players in life's great drama, but may also play an important role as commentators and authorities in their chosen field. And those born in this day are capable of exerting a strong personal magnetism on others, either directly or through their work. And those spellbound by October 15th people will be eager to hear whatever they have to say. And this places great responsibility on an October 15th person not to lead others astray or abuse power for selfish reasons. And the leadership those born on this day inevitably exercise is of an unusual kind. Hardly crusaders in any sense of the word. They are more likely to make a contribution by appraising a given situation or demonstrating through their own example than by administering to the details of an operation. And some October 15 people do make good partners or co-workers, but more often than not, those born on this day prefer working alone or as an autonomous member of a team, especially since they must be free to move, explore, and discover on their own. October 15 people can be very controversial figures, capable of arousing or agitating others, and this is principally because they so often attract attention by speaking their minds openly and even bluntly. And they must beware of attracting antagonism and negative vibrations from those who know them, albeit peripherally. And the accumulation of this negativity can put them under enormous stress and perhaps spell the danger of a breakdown. As social beings, those born on this day do not like to be alone for very long. So their being pushed to flee society or hide can be felt with the force of banishment or exile. The outrageous side of October 15 people may earn them various titles, say sensationalist, attention hog, publicity hounds, or egotist, I missed the T in there. Yet the talents of the more highly evolved individuals born on this day are so great and their knowledge so broad that they can either elude such charges or scorn them. And less highly evolved individuals born on October 15 may appear superficial and needy. And even when October 15 people have won great respect from their peers, friends, and associates, they may still be tempted to show off. And they should cultivate a calm and assuming air instead, which will guarantee them more attention than all the dramatic posturing in the world, and make them more likable to boot. Coming to terms with seductive powers and finding the best way to relate to others are the underpinnings for October 15 people's success. And those born on this day, however, must constantly be on guard against overconfidence, hubris, taking good fortune for granted, and generally putting themselves above the laws of the land. For any of these can lead to their downfall. Well, all right, how about that for a birthday breakdown? I thought it was pretty interesting. A nice mix of different dynamics in there, but they focused on a couple. So let's see what I had to say about it in the notes here. I'd like to provide a little bit of a commentary if you like. All right, let's get into it. October 15th, day of the world stage. You lay claim to your sovereignty in whatever sphere you inhabit, social, familial, or organizational, either as dominant players, commentators, or authorities said. A real cock of the walk, to be sure, all right? At least it sounds like, anyhow. Especially considering the strong personal magnetism you supposedly have on others, all right? Enviable there. And this leading to a responsibility on your part not to abuse that power you have for holding their attention. And while I imagine that should be said for all of us, not to abuse power, that isn't written in any other birthday breakdown that I recall. I mean, at least so far as, what would I have to say? Holding their attention and using it responsibly. It makes sense, but they don't often write that. So maybe take note. You're said to set standards by the example that you demonstrate, all right? And that is one of the most respected forms of leadership, at least in my mind, okay? That said, the reading claims that you like to work alone and not unlike many of your fellow Libras. But beware of antagonism that you may attract by speaking your minds or be prepared for as much, all right? Stress and the potential for breakdown might be on the horizon if you can't handle or aren't ready for as much. And even the subtlest of discomforts has a way of wearing people down, all right? The same way the smallest of streams can cut valleys through mountains of stone, given enough time, all right? So be mindful of the stresses. You may not feel them but they might be there. The other night I had so many little discomforts that I finally lay down, crashed for a bit, and when I woke up, a lot of those comforts were assuaged, they were gone, and I just felt like $1,000,000 because I didn't realize how much all those little things were accumulating. Same kind of thing. I mean, I felt like I almost had a little bit of a high going because I was so relaxed at that point. It's just very interesting to take note of. So yeah, like I said, you never know what little pains and everything accumulate. I think you get the point in any event. As a little aside there, you may have the potential to be a sensationalist or an attention hound, all right, which, as the reading claims, is a facet of your evolution. And you can either turn that energy toward the accumulation of knowledge and give it to others there, I would assume, or focus it on yourself. Not so much of a sin in my mind, but there is a certain kind of reward in sharing that with others. And it said you're a social being, so take note, all right? So focus your abilities and your drives. There's great energy and potential attached to you, it sounds like. So let it flow and blow us out, I wrote. If and you like, all right, as it were. Okay, anyway, that's been the birthday breakdown. So let's dive in with your numbers and your planets. All right, those born on the 15th of the month are ruled by the number 6, as 1 + 5 = 6, and by the planet Venus. And those ruled by 6 tend to attract other people to them and sometimes even inspire worship. In addition, since Venus lends a love of beauty and harmony, October 15th people may be baffled and bewildered when things don't go right for them. The Venusian qualities of October 15 people manifesting as social interests and the love of beauty, comfort, and sensuality are strongly magnified by the double rulership of Venus over the sign of Libra and the number 6. All right, that's your numbers and planets. Let's see what I had to say here in the notes. All right, 6 and Venus for a dual Venus rulership, for attracting people and sometimes even worshippers. All right. Venus also lends a love of beauty and harmony and the aesthetic and balance. All right. Lending to being baffled when things don't go your way, ostensibly because it happens so seldomly, I'm assuming, to which I don't reckon you're going to get as much sympathy. Again, assuming that's the dynamic in such a case, as things going wrong is kind of a matter of course. Everyone else probably figures, right? Though realistically, how often are things really going wrong? Maybe sometimes. All right. What was I heard somewhere, it's like you think about all the instances of car crashes, and as often as they seem to happen and as horrible as all that is, I mean, think of all the rest of the time car crashes aren't happening. They should be happening all the time, you would think, as precarious as moving some giant piece of steel and glass around is happening. But how often are accidents really happening in the event? How often are things going wrong? Maybe sometimes. All right. In any event, dual rulership for love of beauty, comfort, and sensuality. Though I haven't seen a rulership endorsing the opposite yet, but yours is strongly magnified, all things being otherwise equal. That's right. Kind of one of those things. It's like they always focus on the positive things, never the negative. When I was in China, you would go to buy the little tchotchkes, and all of them always stood for something good. Always good luck or love and relationships and this and that and the other thing. And so I asked them, I was like, well, where's the one for bad luck? And they were like, what? I said, where's the one for bad luck? They go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they know enough English. So I was like, which one of these little tchotchkes here? I didn't say tchotchkes because I didn't know the word yet. And I'm sure they wouldn't have known that one. But I said, which one of these tchotchkes here would I give to my enemy to give him bad luck? And they go, oh. And they pointed to like the one, and it was like a skull and crossbones. It's like, okay, you got the point. But any event, that's been your numbers and your planets. Let's dive in with your tarot. That's right, your tarot. One of the more eclectic of the New Age metaphysical philosophies, if you like. But it's here in the book. We don't have to necessarily take it home with us if we don't want to believe in that kind of thing. And you start dealing out cards that dictate our every life's decision. But it's here in the book. Let's have some fun. Expand our horizons. At least see what it has to say. That's right. The 15th card of the Major Arcana is the devil. That's right. It indicates a fear-desire dynamic working where sexual attraction, irrationality, and passion are concerned. The devil holds us slave through our need for security and money. And he represents our base nature grasping for security. He controls us through irreconcilable differences which exist in our male-female nature. And the positive side of this card is sexual attraction and the expression of passionate desires. But the card reminds us that although we are bound to our bodies, our spirits are free to soar. All right. How about that for a little bit of a dramatic read there? Delivery, anyhow. All right. Let's get down to business here. Your tarot, the devil card, a once-a-month card for a fear-desire dynamic with the added facets of passion, sexual attraction, and irrationality. Here it says, also represents the base nature struggling for security and being controlled by the differences in the male-female dynamics of one's nature. I know I'm just repeating everything. Sexual attraction and positive, passionate desires. Passionate desires. Very nice. Good for you. An intrinsic drive. It's a full-time job for me. I got to roll out of bed in the morning and just get my gumption up. And it takes a while sometimes. Sounds like you might not have that problem. I'm envious, all right? I'm jealous even. Let's see what else we got here. Full-time job for me sometimes. Sexually attractive, though. I kind of stopped in my tracks. I mean, I've seen this related in other reads, but this stopped me in my tracks this time because I go, what does that even mean? All right. What's the context? I need specifics here. All right. Sexual attraction, because it's a biological imperative. All right. So it's baked in my mind. Everybody has it to some degree. I'd love to know more, but those are my hang-ups. All right. Maybe you know exactly what they're talking about. You got that. Sexual attraction. I don't know. I feel like I'm sexually attracted, but you know what? That's not in my birthday read, so what's the deal there? All right. That's been your tarot. I know we didn't really expand on much outside the reading, and they didn't necessarily really personalize it for you that much either. But hey, at least we expanded our horizons and we noticed that we got a card that only happens once a month. So yeah, you can feel like they personalized it for you in that regard. Though it seems like it's more dictated by the stars, if you like. In any event, hey, enough about the tarot. Let's move on to your health. All right, your health. Those born on October 15th may be prone to back problems if their occupation is a sedentary one, and they must avoid repeated insults to their internal organs through overeating, alcohol, binging. It says livers and kidneys in your liver and kidneys in parentheticals. Stress for your adrenals, excess sugar for your pancreas, and bleached white flour for your lower bowel. The danger to their psyches from stress are equally great, and sometimes experienced after arousing the animosity of others. In parentheticals it says, if they must be in a constant state of readiness, even the most resolute of warriors are eventually worn down by unrelenting pressure. All right. Therefore, those born on this day must learn to be alone for longer periods of time and to take regularly scheduled vacations in which they do little else but relax. Balance is the watchword for October 15th people in diet, physical exercise, sexual expression, and psychical state, it says. Psychical. I haven't seen it written that way before. But another great relation in my mind is balance is the watchword. All right, hey, what I have to say about your health. Let's get into it here. Prone to back problems. All right, and how? All right, I'm right there with you. They're the worst. Maybe focus on stretching out your psoas muscles. I found that is one of the main reasons I'm having back issues in the lower back there. And despite me stretching them out, they keep persisting. In any event, what else we got here? So watch out for your psoas muscles. Discover where they are. Regardless of sedentary lifestyle, look out for your back. All right, avoid related insults. Insults to the internal organs from abuse, ostensibly. I like that. All right, hammers the point home in a different way. I can't imagine anyone would like the idea of insulting themselves, all right, despite a lot of times doing so. Psychically also, well, primarily probably. Damage from stress accumulation and the warrior metaphor to go with my Stream Rock Valley metaphor there. Learn not to be alone. Learn to be alone rather. It's a powerful tool / ability. Often very hard won, but it's also difficult to maintain as well, I would agree. On account of loneliness finding its way into your heart, right? In any event, balance, the new watchword here. Or I don't know, it's the first one, I guess they'd say. In any event, that's been your health. And be mindful, they really drilled home the point of these things that affect you with the stress and the adrenals, excess sugar, the pancreas. Every one of these days almost, Libra is getting the point pounded home with the kidneys, the intestines, and the back. But here for you, they really drilled down on it. So maybe take note of all that. All right, hey, your health's been done. That's right, buddy. Let's get on with some advice. All right, calm down a bit. Your bold actions can make for negative reactions. And listen to what others, particularly adversaries, say. I like that. Listen to your adversaries, if they're even talking to you, right? You can't always do as you wish. Compromise has its place. All right. Hey, what do I have to say about your advice? I had to write it in the book because I ran out of space on the page. Blasphemy, right? Blasphemy. Calm down, it said. Something you're certainly better off not telling someone in that regard, all right? Women in particular, in my experience. But if you're a glutton for otherwise good time, try it out. Tell a woman to calm down, even as a joke. See how that goes if you haven't done so already. Like I said, bold actions can make for negative reaction, all right? E.g., telling a woman to calm down. That's right. Listen to what others are saying. E.g., calm down. The new watchword instead of balance, I would say. And you can't always do as you wish. You can always do as you wish, rather. Just be ready for the consequences of that, all right? Not just being eager for the unlikely reality that will come as a result. The one that you hope comes as a result more clearly. You wouldn't want to be baffled, right? It says you get baffled. You wouldn't want to be baffled why you're not getting the result that you want. Anyway, that's been your advice. Let's take the energy down just a hair for your meditation. That's right, your meditation. Let's get into it. To be a skillful detective, one must have a good criminal mind. Oh, I like that one. Very interesting. Once more, to be a skillful detective, one must have a good criminal mind. All right, that's your meditation. I'm not going to break it down for you, although it seems clearly evident to me what one could take from that. But hey, this is your meditation. It's for you. It's your birthday. That's for you to focus on. To be a skillful detective, one must have a good criminal mind. That's your meditation. And with that being said, let's move on to those born on this day. That's right. And with those born on this day, I like to segue into something that I find important, and that is your passions. Discovering your passions and really drilling down on them. A lot of times, I get out in the world, meet folks, ask them what they do, and more importantly, if they like it, and they don't. And why is that? Well, oftentimes, I reckon it's because they haven't had the time to put into work to figure out what they like to do. Because sometimes it's not evident, all right? You know you like to do this or that, or even if you do know what you like to do, you don't know how to put it into terms as something you can do that you can backflip out of bed in the morning into doing and making that money, right? As you get out of school, you got to get that first job that comes along so you can find that financial security, get the food on the table, keep the roof over your head. You don't have the time to figure those things out. And so I figure this is the perfect opportunity, not only to see who shares your company, but to see what they did to get put in the book, right? To get their stamp on the cultural zeitgeist, if you like. And maybe if you find yourself in the pitfalls of not knowing what your passion is, maybe you can take some inspiration. And at the very least, you get to see who shares your birthday. All right, let's dive into it. Those born on this day, and we start off strong with Friedrich Nietzsche. That's right, the German philosopher who wrote Ecce Homo, it says. Or Ecce Homo, it says. It doesn't say he wrote it. He was the writer of Also spake Zarathustra. I'm saying that right. Wrong, rather. I'm all over the place with Friedrich Nietzsche. He's throwing me into an existentialist conundrum here. Died insane of syphilis, it says. Let's see. We got Virgil, one name, one word, the Roman ancient poet of the Aeneid, and the Georgics, and another word I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to even try. We got Oscar Wilde, the Irish playwright, poet, and novelist of The Picture of Dorian Gray. Also, what was the importance of being earnest, and imprisoned for sexual offenses, it says. John L. Sullivan, the first heavyweight boxing champion, the last of the bare-knuckle boxing champs. All right, how about that? Thomas Hitman Hearns, how about that? World champion, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight boxer. 2 boxers. Boy, I hope there was a guard in their kidneys, because that's one of your special little areas you need to be watchful of. We have Lee Iacocca, the Ford Chrysler chairman. We also have Edith Galt Wilson, the first lady and de facto president during Woodrow's stroke. We also have Jim Palmer, Baltimore Orioles baseball pitcher and a 3-time Cy Young Award winner. My pronunciation's in the toilet for the birthday reads. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. P.G. Wodehouse, a humor writer of the Jeeves novels, it says. And one of the things he wrote was Anything Goes. We also have Paul Michael Foucault, French deconstructivist, philosopher, and psychiatrist, and is responsible for Madness and Civilization. We also have Mario Puzo, the writer of The Godfather. We also have Penny Marshall, the film TV actress of Laverne and Shirley fame, also a film director of Awakenings. We have Bobby Morrow, U.S. Olympic triple gold medal winning sprinter. Arthur Schlesinger Jr., historian writer of 1,000 Days. We also have John Kenneth Galbraith, who was an economist and presidential advisor. We also have Edwin Rothschild, I'm assuming. This is Asian scholar and a diplomat. We also have Evangelista Torricelli, an Italian mathematician and barometer inventor. All right, we have Herman Abs, German banker and economist. Italio Calvino was an Italian post-World War II writer of Castle of Crossed Destinies. All right, and that rounds out the birthday read. How about all those names that I butchered? Well, we got to do some butchering of our own on account of that. It's not done in malice. It's just hooked on phonics. Didn't work for me with the names there. In the event, that about rounds out your birthday read. Except to say, your season is fall. Your sign, once again, is Libra of the Libra III period specifically. And your quality and element is Cardinal air. And this has been October 15th, the day of the world stage. From The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elvers. I have an affiliate link for this book down in the description. If you want to dive in further, there's a wealth of additional information that pertains just to you, but also every day of the year. That's right. So you can meet those folks that you don't know. You got to have a book so you can get into the minds, right? Ostensibly. In any event, it makes a great coffee table book for parties you might host. If you happen to get out of that isolationist thing they mentioned you may happen to have. It also makes a great literal icebreaker as well, especially if you get the hardcover there. But that's not what's important here. What's important here is it's somebody's birthday. And so I want to once again wish you a happy birthday. That's right. Well, for everyone else who joined us to celebrate, I want to say thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope you come back for your birthday read. That's right. I hope we see you for your birthday read. But lest we forget your daily numbers. This applies to all you random folks too, not just October 15th. Get out there and let the universe show you it's with you on your path. Your 6 and your 4, 4 to 10. That's right. Find you some pies with janky crusts atop a foot severed at mid-calf. You might find one of those in a dumpster. Who's to say that could be the theme that lines up for you? Either way, you'll see the universe is with you on your path as you're talking to the police about the body parts you found. That's right. Hey, once again, happy birthday. I hope you had a great day. All right. Take care of yourselves.